Welcome to this week's edition of the Major Rundown. Remember, every week it's all about Millsaps athletics. You can catch us on the air Wednesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Metro TV. Also, catch us on the web at gomajors.com and on the Millsaps Athletics YouTube channel. Now, here's what you'll see on this week's Major Rundown.
The Millsaps volleyball team has just completed the most successful season in recent years with a 25-7 final record and a #2 finish in last weekend's SAA conference tournament. Unfortunately, the Majors did not get an at-large bid to the D3 national tournament, so we'll wrap up the season by sitting down with the 4 seniors on the team and relive their memories of a very special volleyball season.
It's so funny because our chemistry on the court is noticeably different this year. This year has been the best chemistry we ever had where you could have talked to anybody.
And also on this week's show, we'll visit with the freshman sensation on the women's golf team, Lauren Durbin from Biloxi.
Now let's take a look at all the action this past weekend around the Major Nation.
Let's start it off with the homecoming game for the football team. The Majors hosted the Austin College Roos, and what a game it turned out to be. Millsaps holding on for a 36-34 win in front of the homecoming crowd. It was tied 14-all at the half. Bartholomew, who had a great day with 145 yards rushing, got his second of 3 touchdowns on the day in the third quarter. Then early fourth quarter, Bartholomew excited the fans with the 34-yard touchdown romp, and Millsaps went up 36-21. But Austin College roared back, scoring 2 more touchdowns and pulling to within 2 points at 36-34. But a late sack by the Majors' Jeff Milner saved the day, and Millsaps pulled out the 36-34 win to improve to 7-2 overall. On the day, Pinciotti was 27 of 41 for 310 yards passing and 2 TDs. On defense Saturday, senior Jeb White had a spectacular game with 12 tackles. 9 of those were solo stops. Next up for the Majors, the final regular season game of the year. They host conference foe Birmingham Southern at 1 p.m. at Harper Davis Field. A win will give Millsaps the 2012 Southern Athletic Association Conference Championship. Also last weekend, the men's and women's soccer teams competed well in their SAA conference tournaments. The women's team won their first round quarterfinal game against Sewanee 2-1, but they lost out in the semifinal round to Center College 3-0. The Majors finished the season at 8-10-1. The men's soccer team beat Hendricks in the first round quarterfinal matchup 2-1. Then they lost out to Center in the next round, 6-1 the final score there. The men's team finishes the season with a 6-9-3 record. And the volleyball team headed to Berry College in Georgia with their sights set on a conference championship. The women buzzed through Oglethorpe in the first round 3-0. Then they swept Center College 3-0 in the semifinals, setting up the expected rematch with Berry College in the championship match. It was a hard-fought match, but the Majors fell to Berry 3-1 in the finals. However, it was still one of the most successful volleyball seasons in recent years with a 25-7 final record overall.
When we come back, we'll relive the memories of a very special volleyball season with the 4 seniors on the team this year, including Player of the Year, Kasey Laird.
It's a new day in Jackson television. We are Metro TV, serving Madison, Rankin, and Hinds counties with a local flavor. It's all about local people, local places, local events, local business, and local fun. You'll see your friends, your neighbors, and your family on Metro TV. Our goal is to showcase the positive aspects of life in the Jackson metro area, from Brandon and Pearl to Madison, Ridgeland, Flowood, Clinton, Raymond, and Jackson. We'll provide professional quality, informative, entertaining, and fun programming specifically serving the Tri-County metro area. So get to know us. We are Metro TV.
This year's Millsaps volleyball team enjoyed a tremendous season. They finished with a 25-7 record overall and were number 2 in the SAA conference. Unfortunately, they didn't get a bid to the D3 national tournament, but still a great season. So we sat down with the 4 senior leaders on the team and let them discuss their final season with the majors.
Aime. I'm a senior from Memphis, Tennessee.
I'm Raven Scott, and I'm a senior from Booty, Louisiana.
I'm Kasey Laird from New Orleans, Louisiana.
I'm Sarah Zito, a senior from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
All of our freshmen came from really strong backgrounds too. They all came from really strong teams that had the chemistry that we have. So it wasn't a big transition for them to come in and be their quirky selves. So.
I don't know if I think that they were ready for us though.
Like, we were a lot to take on. We pushed hard.
Yeah, I don't think they were ready for the 4 of us really demanding their best and our best every single day. And I'm glad that if we leave here, like, that's what I want them to remember of us, that every single day we demanded their best, and the days that they didn't give it to us, they knew it. And we weren't going to let it slide.
Well, that's like my favorite thing about like the legacy we leave on is like in practice, like every sprint is a race, and every workout is I'm trying to beat your weight, I'm trying to move my weight up, I'm trying to finish harder, make my reps better, you know, and I love that.
I like hearing them say it to each other, like if you're like on the bench at some time and you're like, she was not trying.
All right.
That's right. Good job.
Yeah.
Point that up.
The start of our season was fantastic. Yeah. We started our season very strong, one of the strongest starts ever as part of this program. So I think I really knew that we were going to be a good team this year after our first loss. When after our first loss, there was a line of us outside of Coach's door saying, we need to talk, we need to talk, we need to talk. Because it was just such a moment of we all want so much from this year, and you could see that we're committed. I remember going into Coach's office saying that we needed to talk after the first loss, and Mackie was already sitting there. like, yes, it's going to be a good year.
I think I interrupted you on that meeting. Like, and I was like, can I talk to you?
We all did. We were all there. We were all there because we knew. Like, we knew it didn't really have to be said. We lined out our goals and said we want it, but deep in our hearts, after the start we had, we all knew that this year could mean something, and it could be something big. And I don't think we really took it seriously how good our start was until somebody was like, oh, and then they beat us. But I mean, I truly believe we needed that at that moment, and it made us even better.
We all talked about that too. We all talked about how important that loss was because we needed to, you know, get re-energized and have somebody push us.
Too.
I think every great team needs a humbling point.
Yeah.
Like there has to be a moment, and sometimes it comes at the championship, and sometimes it comes too late. But I think that was the perfect timing. We had a great start. Momentum had started, but it was like, oh wait, we still have work to do. We couldn't just ride all the way to the finish. We had, you know, things to change, things to make better.
Yeah, that loss pushed us to not rest on our laurels, to say, like, in the gym, when it really made us step up. Like, in the gym, at that point, I think the effort kind of had slacked off because we're like, we're good. But until the first time somebody beats you and takes the game off you, you don't realize it never ends. You can never stop pushing. You can never stop getting better.
I think my favorite part about this season, like, we traveled so much. Gosh, I felt like we were always on the road. But I think that made us so much closer, you know, and it made us better being able to get off of a bus and play and then get back on the bus, drive, and play again.
And as much as they laugh at us for our music choices and dancing all up and down the aisles of the bus,
they did it on the ride home.
They are going to miss that.
And that was like, we always sit in the back of the bus, of course, but like that last bus ride when Sarah and I were sitting in the very back and we were watching one of the Kasey and a couple sophomores dancing in the aisles. We were like, we did that. Look at them. They're just as crazy as we are.
Our legacy has been left.
But that's what makes connections. That's what our chemistry is all about. It's like we're not just teammates. We don't just get the chemistry from practice. It comes from legitimately being like goofy, crazy friends all the time. I mean, we're the loudest ones in the calf, usually the last ones to leave. And so that's what made it so special. I mean, even if we had a losing season, I would look back on this with pride because of just like the memories made and the like friendships that with freshmen that we wouldn't ordinarily be friends with that we're so close with now.
I think probably my favorite part would be the pre-games too. Just the moments every time we made it our thing to sing Beyonce before every game. You know,
like singing the national anthem with Olivia, who's on my one side, and Christina, who's on my other side, singing it. Now towards the end, we got to where Coach could hear us from the bench of singing the national anthem. It just puts you in game ready.
I liked us uniting over that feeling, and like that's going to be one of the things that stays with me. There will never be a time that Best Thing I Never Had plays where I don't think of Millsaps volleyball, where I don't
or getting out of your mind.
Where I don't think of our team and this year. There will never be a time when that happens because that is us. You know, that became us, the team that sings in the locker room, that will sing on the bench before we play you. We will do it.
We pose our gymnastics pose after being called out.
I started that. Just throwing it out there.
And we followed your lead.
Followed.
We're like, we're going to do this. If we're going to do this, we're going to do it.
Y'all left me hanging the first time. You did. You did it with me.
I didn't either. I may have jazz squared.
You did jazz squared.
I'm sorry. I may have jazz squared, possibly.
I just love, because I feel like when we came into a team that had a lot of chemistry, but in no means what it is now. But I think that we learned from the upperclassmen that we came into and just took it and ran with it. I mean, the chemistry we've shared with the whole team, and I think that's really special. You know, there's that suite of sophomores now that's like always together like we were, and I love that that's something we've passed down because, I mean, it's no secret that we're always together.
And now the freshmen are all talking about rooming together, and I'm like, you get it,
I love
you know.
that.
And then, like, it's so funny because our chemistry on the court is noticeably different this year. This year has been the best chemistry we ever had where you could have talked to anybody.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody on the court was having a bad day, like, anyone on the court could have said something to, like, pick them up and to unite with them. And in years past, that's never been the case. Like, even for me in years past, I'm guilty of it, I know, but, like, not everyone has been approachable. It hasn't always been the case where you can talk to someone. But I think this year has just been such a gigantic leap of what it means to have chemistry on the floor and off the floor. Because we've always had chemistry off the floor. This year we truly had that chemistry. We'll figure it out together on the floor.
I mean, I know we didn't like come home with the championship, but I think it's that chemistry on the floor that got us there. You know, we've always been a good team. The past 4 years, our records have gotten better. But I think this year, that's what made us a great team. You know, and that's what you can tell. Our record's great. We made it to the championship match.
This year.
It's a new day in Jackson television. We are Metro TV, serving Madison, Rankin, and Himes counties with a local flavor. It's all about local people, local places, local events, local business, and local fun. You'll see your friends, your neighbors, and your family on Metro TV. Our goal is to showcase the positive aspects of life in the Jackson metro area, from Brandon and Pearl to Madison, Ridgeland, Flowood, Clinton, Raymond, and Jackson. We'll provide professional quality, informative, entertaining, and fun programming specifically serving the Tri-County metro area. So get to know us. We are Metro TV.
Whenever I think about Coach, it was like when we were on the bus, and it was, I think it was Kasey and Sarah, y'all were there. We were up next to Coach when she was driving. She's like, y'all got to keep me awake. Got coffee, but I don't trust you. Talk to me the whole ride back. It's like a 3-hour drive. And the sophomores were like, God, y'all just tell Coach everything. Like, y'all can talk to her. I'm like, well, we love Coach.
In 3 hours, I've run out of, like, appropriate things to say to Coach. At this point, I'm just going to tell you every story that, you know, I just have. If it's, I don't know if you should hear it or not, but why not?
Whatever.
Like, I think Coach is another part of, like, our team chemistry. Is like, if Coach did something that, like, bothered you, or you could go talk to her about it, and she would be real with you and honest and, like, okay, well, like, I'm sorry, but, you know, and just, like, the fact that she cared as much about us. There was no love lost because we just love each other.
Like, the feeling to know that, like, I can always go into Coach's office, no matter what. Even if I'm 35, if she's still here and I'm having a bad day, like, I could come into her office and she'd be like, what's going on? Like, you know? But there's always that support. No matter what it was in your life, she always supported you.
I feel like in the past 4 years, I've, like, taken and, like, marked off my space in Coach's office. Like, Coach, I need to talk. This spot belongs to me. Yeah. And just for the past 4 years, I've always been in there with volleyball things, life things I need to talk about. And, like, I could never thank her enough for just, like, the 4 years I've been here. I have grown so much as a person. Mm-hmm. Just because we've had to work through things. Like, there's been times, like, I've not always agreed with Coach. She's known that. Yeah. And she's not always agreed with things I've had to say. But, like, I've respected her so much from the day one that I've got here because she's a stand-up person and she tells you how it is. If you were terrible today, she will tell you. But she helps you get better. And, like, I love that. I could hug her right now just because of, like, thinking about myself as a freshman on the court and just, like, my mindset and what I thought leadership was and what I thought the game was, and to now is just so different.
I love that same van ride. We're trying to keep her awake. She was giving us all love advice and life advice and, like, job advice.
I like to think of the, like, freshman year when we came in, how it was so like, I can't talk to her. I am afraid of her. She is this greater person than, and coming to that, like, I don't even know when it happened, but that one day where you're like, I have to talk to Coach now.
She's a person. I have to talk to Coach now.
It's weird. It's weird coming up on the end. Oh, there's, like, a tear right here that I feel. I'm gonna keep it back though. It's weird being 4 years and it being the end, and, like, I can't imagine this experience without y'all at all. Literally every event of my time here, y'all had some piece of. Even sorority stuff, complete step. Kasey's been there for all of it, you know, and y'all have been there for some.
We were kind of there.
Y'all been our days.
We were kind of there.
It's like, everything. Even things that we're involved in separately. Like, we go to your events, and y'all come with me to the art room, and we go to your track meets, and
there's no telling how many random things that Raven said, hey, can you come? And after I've been like, I will never, ever do that again.
Please.
And you always
I always go back.
You always
I've taken you to 2 art shows, a mosque.
Which is the memory that stands out in my mind.
That gross artist.
Yeah, that was my fault too. Sorry.
Was that me too?
No, but just like trying to think of a funny story or an adventure without
they don't
one
exist.
Or all of
they
you
don't. Those don't exist.
I think the way to sum it all up though is we're the best friends. We're, like, the 4 best friends that
anybody ever had.
And this is why we're best friends, you know? But me and Sarah have talked about it. Like, we hope that everyone that comes to Millsaps can experience half of what we have.
Because the experiences that we've had, like, and I tell everyone, they're like, oh, how do you like Millsaps? I love my time here. And I attribute most of it to the 3 of y'all. Like,
I think if I could say anything to, like, team or, you know, anybody even coming to Millsaps is just live in the moment. Enjoy every single moment that you have and make it your best, whether it's pulling all-nighters, like when me and Claire pulled an all-nighter in the skybox, like, live for the moment.
To the incoming freshmen next year, like, be prepared to be a part of this crazy, weird family.
And it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Right for us sometimes you'll be overwhelmed, but it'll be so worth it later.
Yeah.
I think I would say the same thing. Just live in the moment. Enjoy everything. Enjoy every road trip. Enjoy every practice. Enjoy every time after practice when you got to rant about practice. Enjoy the games and just the feelings of this team.
Even the hard times are some of my favorite memories. Like
when Coach took our locker room away.
yeah, and just like the what came from that of like how we had to stick together because Coach didn't believe us, so we had to prove it. And like the 6 a.m. runs or 6 a.m. practices, we're all delirious and like doing weird stuff. I mean,
trying to make sure everyone's awake, make sure everyone's here.
It's all a part of the experience.
Yep.
It makes it perfect. Like, I wouldn't change it at all. It's been perfect.
It's a new day in Jackson television. We are Metro TV, serving Madison, Rankin, and Hinds counties with a local flavor. It's all about local people, local places, local events, local business, and local fun. You'll see your friends, your neighbors, and your family on Metro TV. Our goal is to showcase the positive aspects of life in the Jackson metro area, from Brandon and Pearl to Madison, Ridgeland, Flowood, Clinton, Raymond, and Jackson. We'll provide professional quality, informative, entertaining, and fun programming specifically serving the Tri-County metro area. So get to know us. We are Metro TV.
I went to Biloxi High School. I'm from Biloxi, Mississippi, and I got into golf 14 years ago, really long time. I have a twin brother that plays, and I saw him when he got like 5th place. We were like 5 years old, and the trophy was bigger than he was, and that, I guess, made me want to play golf just for the hardware, I guess.
So you were how old when you started?
I was 6. You don't have very good balance when you're 6, but it's just, I loved it. I didn't want to practice, but I liked playing in tournaments.
She is a freshman this year. She was the #1 rated golfer coming out of Mississippi last year for the 2012 class, so we did a great job picking her up. So far this year, she has performed very solid. She has a lot more that she can really put on the table. Sky's the limit with this girl. She's very talented.
Did your parents play at all?
My whole family plays. My dad taught both of us, and I'm actually left-handed, but I play golf right-handed.
So who's the best golfer in the family right now?
It goes back and forth between me and my brother. For the longest time, he always beat me, but he doesn't play as much anymore, so I think I got that now.
Tell me about your high school career and kind of those days of playing golf. How did I understand you were #1 in the state of Mississippi last year as a senior?
Yes, sir. High school it's different. There wasn't a whole lot of girls when I first started out. So I was basically, trying to, and throughout my classes, hey, we need girls on the golf team, it doesn't matter if you've never played golf before, we just need a team. And so I got a few girls out, and they ended up loving it. And they weren't very good at first, but like they learned and they were eager to learn. So I was happy because women's golf isn't as popular as it is for guys.
Being the #1 player in the state of Mississippi last year, was that a big deal for you? Are you goal-oriented? Do you like things like that?
That was my goal. I didn't even order a class ring because I wanted to get that state championship ring. So that was a huge goal for me, and I wanted to do it by the time I graduated, and I did my senior year. So
individual strengths for her.
Individual strengths is hands down the way she hits the golf ball. With her driver, she struggles a little bit, but not too much. With hitting irons and hitting a lot of greens in regulation, she's phenomenal at. Pitching, chipping, distance wedges,
things of that nature we kind of need to improve on a little bit, but the putting is our main focus with Lauren right now. We've spent a lot of time working on drills with her and trying to improve her putting. So if we can improve that aspect of her golf game, then we're going to see a big jump in her score and the talents that she has.
So you're a freshman. Why did you choose Millsaps?
I chose Millsaps, of course, academic-wise, it's a great school. And Coach Eddie, he was really eager to find girls, just help improve the girls program, because last year they only had Lauren Berrettini. And I saw how eager he was to do that, and it made me think, oh, well, he really likes his job, and that meant a lot to me, because I didn't want to go somewhere with a coach. It wasn't his priority. So that's another reason why I chose Millsaps.
So what do you want to do with golf? Do you envision golf after college?
I don't know. I don't necessarily want to turn pro, because I think it takes the fun out of it. Because then it's just kind of like a job. I'm sure I'll definitely play till I'm like 90, but not as a job. I don't want to do it as a job. So I'll just, hopefully find a career somewhere else. And
so back to golf. What do you see as your strengths with your golf game right now, and what do you need to work on?
strengths, past couple of weekends I've hit the ball really well. Greens regulations have gone up in percentage, but my putting is not so great. So I've been working on that every day for the past week and a half, so for this weekend's tournament. So.
What's your best score?
My best score is even par for 18 holes. My lowest score for 9 holes is 2 under, but it's all about consistency.
What is it about golf that has attracted you most of your life?
The fact that I guess it's a learning game. Like you can't perfect it. You can't, you're never gonna beat the game. It's impossible. It's not gonna happen. And you have to learn from your mistakes, and it's all about honor. Like you have to, you have to call on yourself, like if you do something wrong. Like if you accidentally touched your ball and you didn't mean to, you have to call that on yourself. You don't have a ref saying, oh, foul, penalty. You have to, it's an honorable game. So I really like the fact that golf's like that. And you can play till you're 90 years old. So.
Here's a look at this weekend's slate of action around the major nation. First of all, the football team plays their final regular season game of the year. They host Birmingham Southern at 1 p.m. at Harper Davis Field. It's a conference game, so a win here will give Millsaps the 2012 Southern Athletic Association Conference Championship, as Millsaps is currently undefeated at 3-0 and Birmingham Southern is 2-1. Millsaps in the midst of a great season, 7-2 overall, and could top off the season with the conference championship in the Southern Athletic Association. Again, a 1 p.m. kick Saturday at Harper Davis Field. Also this weekend, the men's and women's cross-country teams compete in the NCAA Division III South Regionals in Atlanta, Georgia. That's Saturday, so good luck to head coach Andy Till and all the cross-country runners for the Millsaps Majors. Saturday, the South Regionals in Atlanta, Georgia.
Thanks for joining us on this week's Major Rundown. Remember, you can catch us twice a week on Metro TV, Wednesday and Thursday nights at 8 p.m., and also on the GoMajors.com website and on the Millsaps Athletics YouTube channel. Every week, it's all about Millsaps College sports. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next week on the Major Rundown.